Turning overseas now, where ISIS has overrun the city of Ramadi, a city that has a lot of meaning to a lot of American families. Not only the capital of Anbar province, but it's a region where nearly 1 in 3 of all U.S. casualties occurred during the Iraq War. Now, after all that sacrifice by American servicemen and women, Ramadi, less than 70 miles from Baghdad, is in the hands of the enemy. NBC's Bill Neely has our report.
The retreat from Ramadi was fast and humiliating. Iraqi troops in dozens of armoured vehicles in a race for their lives. Forcing them out, ISIS fighters who shot this propaganda video showing a city abandoned by the army.
Today, a jihadi parade, ISIS celebrating one of its biggest victories yet. Its conquering of the city of Ramadi. ISIS releasing a gloating new video showing their victorious fighters strolling the deserted streets, past a destroyed Humvee and through an empty hospital, hoisting their black flag. The city is theirs. The fall of Ramadi is another major defeat for Iraq's shaky army and for the United States.
The fall of Ramadi, it's huge.
Critics like Senator John McCain are calling for U.S. boots on the ground, which the Obama administration has so far ruled out. Both the U.S. and Iraq will now rely on Shiite militias to retake the Sunni city of Ramadi. They helped regain Tikrit last month, but they are armed and backed by Iran.
A chaotic firefight just before Ramadi fell. The strategic city now in the hands of ISIS, and the U.S. Defense Secretary not mincing words.
What apparently happened was that the Iraqi forces just showed no will to fight. They were not outnumbered. In fact, they vastly outnumbered the opposing force, and yet they failed to fight. They withdrew from the site.
Blame game aside, the situation remains dire. Nearly 55,000 people have fled Ramadi since ISIS captured it.
But ISIS is now pushing towards the capital, Baghdad, with U.S. warplanes and Iraqi troops struggling to defeat it.
Major new concern involving ISIS. First, we saw those Iraqi soldiers fleeing, leaving American weapons and American equipment in the hands of ISIS. Tonight, from Syria, a troubling development. ISIS now seizing the ancient city of Palmyra, home to ancient ruins. 2,000 years old. International concern now, will ISIS destroy them? We've seen what has happened before, ISIS destroying antiquities in Mosul. And it comes just days after the fall of Ramadi in Iraq.
ISIS believes these idols of pagan empires need to be eradicated, just like it razed archaeological treasures in Iraq, Nimrud, Hatra, and Mosul. Historians say it's a kind of cultural genocide.
Tonight fears that this will happen again. ISIS fighters toppling ancient statues in northern Iraq. Now, ISIS seizing control of the historic Syrian city of Palmyra with its spectacular ruins. The new concern, those irreplaceable treasures will be destroyed or artifacts sold off to fund the ISIS war chest.
There are new reports that ISIS fighters who control a dam are reducing the flow of water to government-held areas in Iraq's Anbar province.
Yeah, John, ISIS using the Euphrates River as a weapon, trying to consolidate their control over parts of Anbar province. We're hearing reports out of Baghdad that in some parts the river is down several meters as ISIS has closed 23 of the 26 gates at that key and important dam. And now insurgents both limiting the water going to government-held areas and to Sunni villages in the area. By reducing the water flow from the Euphrates, ISIS and the insurgents also gaining greater freedom of movement since now they know where and when they can cross the river. It sort of just adds an ability to attack government-held areas that they didn't previously have.
According to Iraqi officials, ISIS is in the process or has already cut off a dam on the Euphrates River right outside of Ramadi, which of course ISIS took back from the government on the 17th of May. Now the worry is that they'll be able to cut off the flow of that vital river and deny the people, the millions of people living downstream, of drinking water, water for agriculture.
This low water in a riverbed in Ramadi is an attack. ISIS has closed off a dam north of the city, water the ultimate weapon in this blistering desert. Controlling the dam, cutting the water flow, cuts supply to pro-government towns downstream, making it easier for ISIS to attack and crops to die, local officials say. The dry riverbed also providing a potential route to attack those pro-government towns.